Hello creative friends, it's Sue here with another video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different and we are going to be working with UV resin. We're going to be making some jewelry pieces, actually just a pair of earrings to start, but this is something that you can bounce off of and do whatever it is essentially that you like. So what I have to start with here is a ring mandrel, but you can use a dowel, you can use the handle of a utensil in your kitchen, really anything that will give you the dimension that you want. I do have my UV flashlight, my Decorum UV resin. I will also be using some gold tone wire. This is a 20 gauge, I believe, but you could use 18. It's totally fine. And then I have some utensils. Oh my goodness. Some pliers here. Some round nose pliers, a pair of wire snips, and a pair of regular pliers. And these can be any old pliers. I just happen to grab these. So what we're going to be doing to start with is I've cut down 2 pieces of wire. Bye-bye there. It's got stuff dropping everywhere. I've cut down 2 pieces of the gold tone wire already. And these 2 pieces are approximately 9 1/4, 9 1/2 at the most, but 9 1/4 is approximately how long each one of these pieces is. And that's just to give you ample space to work with. They don't have to be this long, most likely. What I've also done already is just put a little hook or loop at the top here. And this will give us some place to hang our earring from, because these are going to be a pair of earrings. So this is where we'll put our jump ring to hang it from our earring back. And then I have the rest of the wire here to work with. So I'll put the rest of this gold tone wire aside. What I also recently purchased is some of these little tubs of, they're really called nail art things. And I'll bring you in closer. And they're really pretty. And the reason I bought them is I really wanted some crescent moons. And you can see in this one, there's a sun and a crescent moon, stars. They all have something a little bit different. This came as a set, and as always, I'll link it down below. But there's different, like, really pretty stones in here. All sorts of fun kind of things. And I've been toying with a lot of ideas as to what I want to do with these, because I really do like, of course, the crescent moons, as you've probably already noticed. So I wanted to do something earring-wise that I could use some of these cute little shapes in. And I think to start with, excuse me, sorry about that. I think what I will start with is this one right here. It's really pretty. These are very shallow containers, so when you take the lid off, be extremely careful. But I believe it has everything in there that I will want for my earrings. So we're going to use this. And I'll put the other ones off to the side, because what I would like to do is make a pair of kind of fancy holiday earrings. They can be any kind of earrings, really, but these will be on the fancier side, I guess, is what you could say. And they will be kind of sparkly, and they will have these little embellishments in them. I'm looking for my silicone mat that I literally, oh, sorry, it fell off my table, I forgot. All right, so here's my silicone mat. The reason I did these little head pins almost like this is because I want them to lay flat on my mat. I don't want them to pop up if I can avoid it. And the reason I have my ring mandrel is I want to form a shape around my mandrel, and I think I will start on these with, I have no idea, because I'm just testing this out, as I always do with you guys. So I'm going to start with a 2 1/2 on my ring mandrel. And what I'm doing here is just really wrapping it around until I'm trying to get the best angle, until they meet at the back here, or at the top, or whatever you want to call it. All I did was trim that wire down so that they look like that now. Now what I want to do is turn this end in. You can work on yours until they're the shape and the look that you want them to be. Again, like I said, you could put these on a steel block and hammer them. You can use your chain nose pliers to fix them, however you want to do it. Where's my round nose pliers? You can even use your round nose pliers and get in there with the wider side of the pliers and just form it more into a circle if you're not happy with the way that it looks. So I'm just taking these and kind of trying to shape my wire. Just to make it a little bit rounder. So I'm more happy with the shape. And then I just want to take this little piece here, which is going to be our hook. And I want to make that face upright a little bit more, just so they look a little bit more consistent. So that's what we have so far. Now what we're going to do is get ready to do our resin. So I want to make sure I have my flashlight handy. I'm going to take you in just a little bit closer. And we're going to do a thin layer to start. So I really just want to fill up the middle here. Let it spread out a little bit. If you want to take a brush and kind of brush the resin out, feel free to, which is what I'm going to do here. Just want to make sure that that resin has as few bubbles as possible, and that it's going all the way and touching the gold part of the earring. I'm leaning back and looking at it, making sure everything looks good. Don't worry if this part isn't perfect, because we're going to be adding to it. Now I'm just going to take my UV, shine it in there quickly. Do that flash cure. And then off camera, I'm going to put this in my UV resin light 2 times at 60 seconds. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so these have been under the light for 120 seconds. So they are all resined up. And you can see that from the glisten in the middle. And I've also gone ahead while they were curing and picked out 2 little crescent moons and 2 little rings that I thought were really pretty. And I'm going to try to put them in each on like one side of the earrings. I also have some gold glitter. Sorry, that was so close, that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to do the gold glitter part first. So what I want to do, and we're going to see how well this is going to work, but I want to take a kind of stiff brush similar to this makeup brush, dab a little bit of it into the glitter like this, and then I want to make sure I'm putting it on the same part of the earring. So I want to put it on this part. All right, well, that doesn't seem to want to be working. So I do have my paintbrush over here that I had the rest of my UV resin on. So I'm just going to paint a little bit over here on both sides. This has got just a little trace of UV resin still left on it. I was hoping it would work a little bit easier than that. And now I'm going to put my brush back in it and see if I can't tap it out into that resin. So all I'm doing is holding the brush over the top of where I put that resin and just shaking it a little bit, or tapping it so that the glitter comes off and goes on to the resin. Okay, That's about what I was going for. So you can see that there. All right. Now we're going to do a quick cure with our UV light. Tap off the excess glitter. See if I can brush off whatever I don't want on there, because it's not touching the resin. And that's working very well. All right. Now that I've fixed it really quickly, I'm going to put this back under my UV light. And this time I'm only going to put it in there for 60 seconds. So we'll be back when that's done. I did cure the resin that's sitting here where the gold is for one time through at 60 seconds. And while I was doing that, I did look for a couple of crystals. So I did find a couple of very lightly gold tone Swarovski crystals that I had in my collection already. So I'll be using those to embellish my earring. Maybe right about there. I'll be using my crescent moons as well. So off camera, I just put this into my, or picked it up with my tweezers. Trying to figure out where I want it to sit. I think I like it just like that. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Oops. Flip this around. And just put it there. So that's about what I want my earrings to look like. I still have little gold pieces over here that I could add to give it a little interest over here on the side where the glitter is. And I will probably do that. All right, so now that I have a pattern, I'm going to take these off of my first earring. And I'm going to put some of my UV resin right in the middle of my earring. Just one little drip will do. Take that same brush that I used before for my resin. This will help to seal in the rest of our glitter over here, as well as give us a surface to put our embellishments on. And I'm just checking, leaning back, looking every which way to make sure I've got that all covered up as best I can. I left my design over here on the other earring so I would know what I was going for. So I'm going to put my crystal in. Be aware as you're putting your embellishments in, they will have a tendency to move around because you now have resin on the surface. Once I have everything exactly where I want it, I am going to go ahead and do a flash cure, as always. And yes, for anybody that's sitting out there right now looking at it going, but they're not going to be symmetrical, they're not going to be, it's totally fine. I am just playing here. I know that these are going to be not mirrored, is what I'm saying. But I don't really mind that. I wasn't going for a mirror effect. I was going for same look. So even if you didn't want to do these as earrings, you could do this as a pendant. You could add other embellishments to it. There's so many things that you could do from here. So I'm going to pop this back in my UV light and I will be right back again. Okay, so these guys have been under my UV light 3 times at 60 seconds, so 180 seconds in total. I'm going to take you up close to see how nice and shiny they are. Now what I will do off camera here quickly is I will do another coat around the crystal, not covering the crystal, but around the crystal because I still want the facets of the crystal. And I want to make sure that my embellishments are laying as flat as they can. So I want to cover it up one more time, making sure that everything is sealed in nicely. And then I will take them off the backing, flip them over, do another coat of resin on the back. And then I'll show you what they look like once I have those 2 more coats of resin completed. So we'll be back in a minute. I wanted to bring you guys back after the last bit of resin that I did on the top, just to show you something when you finally take it off of the mat. Hopefully you can see there's a little edge of resin extending out past the wire. All I'm going to do to fix that and make sure that it's not going to become a part of my piece of jewelry is I'm going to take a pair of pliers, hold on to the tip of it, and then just file away that extra resin that's hanging out on the sides, being careful not to go too fast and just get rid of it. I'm not going to do that all on camera, but that's what I'm going to do. And I just wanted to point it out that if that happens, all is not lost. And if you don't have a file like this, a nail file works just as well. I just happen to have these on hand and they do a really quick job, so I thought I would use them. But I wanted to show you that quickly, just so if you see it on your piece, you don't wonder why I didn't have it on mine, because I did. Okay, so we are back, and I want to show you, once I've put the earring wires on and gotten them all ready, what these cute little earrings ended up looking like. So there they are. I really enjoy how they turned out. They have a nice little feel of holiday but celestial at the same time. I think they're very fun. And I took that idea and I moved it on into a couple of other pairs of earrings. So I did some that were a little bit more holiday-ish, and I just simply used glitter inside the same ideas as the first ones with the same wire. And I used glitter that had some holographic, larger, chunky pieces in it. And then just glued some Swarovski crystals to the front for red, so red and gold on those. And then I did some in a silver theme that's a little bit more on the elegant side. It's got some really pretty holographic fine glitter in there, also with some crystals. Those are the nail art crystals on some silver earring backs. So these were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed them, and I like how they turned out. So hopefully you can use an idea like this on something that you might like to make for yourself for the holidays or just for every day. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Hope it finds you safe, happy, and healthy wherever and whenever you are. And until the next video, have a great day or night. Bye.